Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret gridiron bunker beneath Bullstorff Field. Now, let's meet the captains of today's podcast.
All right, welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Podcast. We got a special one. I think it's going to be pretty easy to say that I think this episode, Troy, is going to be dedicated to Dave and Jill Handal from Tomball, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're going to know why here in just about 2 seconds. But we have a couple brothers. We got Kasen and Keegan Handal. And we're going to get into a little bit about this Tomball connection because we got 5 guys on the roster right now. We got the twins, the Mays twins. We've got Derek Taylor, and of course we got Keegan and Kasen. Now Kasen wears number 4 for the Warriors. He's a defensive back. Had a big week last week. He got a strip sack. He scooped it and scored. That doesn't happen very often, does it?
Not much.
No,
especially on kickoff. You know,
that was insane.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It was. It's a good way to start the second half, though.
Yeah, and I mean, both you guys had big games. I mean, Keegan got his first collegiate sack.
Yes, sir.
That was. Yeah, I think Papa Dave and Mama Jill were probably pretty excited about that.
I would hope so, at least.
Well, man, they lit you up on Twitter and everything. I mean,
lots of text during the game.
Phone was blown
during the game.
Well, yeah.
Well, so like afterward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got. You came off the sidelines, and it was like some brotherly love happening out there. You know, both of you.
Now, did you get dinged up on that play? Did you get a cramp?
Yeah. So as soon as I took off, running down the field, I could already feel it, and so I was just like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna tough it out. And then I got down there, stripped the dude, picked it up, ran in the end zone. Once I got in the end zone, started walking around, everything just kind of.
Was that number 2?
On me.
Was that number 2 you stripped it from?
Well, he had a bad day.
He had a tough day.
Well, everybody in the back had a problem that day.
I think it was 1 because they finally switched the 2.
Yeah.
Good work. Yeah.
They got rid of 2 and put in like 21 or 22, something like that.
It wasn't working for them either way. Though.
No. Oh, it was horrible. Yeah. I felt bad. I mean, sort of. Especially in the beginning of the third quarter. That was just, at first you're kind of like, well, that's awesome. And then you're like, come on now, is this how it's going to go the rest of the game? You know, because it was like bam and bam, and then it's like it's out of reach for them.
Yeah, I was asking Cade Kloster-Hodak and Zach Throne, our first 2 scores.
Right.
We're all on turnovers. It's like, you guys tired? You doing okay? I mean, right out of the second half, we'd like to maybe get on the field. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. It was pretty exciting, though.
So, Troy, I got a question for you right off. What number does Keegan wear?
Keegan, is it 23?
That's Tyler Dennis.
Oh, that is.
Flip it.
I saw Tyler. 32?
Right.
Oh, all right. See, I'm dyslexic then.
32.
That's what I'm going to say it is.
He's 32, and I can't remember. What was he calling you on the...
Originally, I was Joseph Perez.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't bring that nonsense up. I didn't.
Well, and that's...
I can't remember everybody's...
I've asked the coaches. I said, "Hey, could you send Troy the start, the dress roster at least, so we can get that straight?" I mean, Kasen, we're always going to have number 4 in there.
Right to Waldorf football.
Well, I kind of blame the coaches because for picture day, I took pictures in 34, so that wasn't even Seth's obviously 34.
Yeah, it's Seth 34.
Yeah,
and 32. Yeah, I had. Oh, but I didn't have it right the first 2 games.
Yeah, and you threw that out there after his sack. I'm like, oh,
that's too bad.
But that's okay because they have those kids that do the.
Well, it's a good thing it's not your last year.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
No, it was funny though because they credited me for the sack or in the little write up on like the athletic website.
Yeah,
they said I had the sack, and
right?
Not him. So I was just getting all the love.
Oh yeah, it was a good day.
It was funny.
Well, Keegan, they could rewrite that and give you the strip sack or the strip scoop and score. He could give you that one.
I'll tell you, the presentation saints were not sounding very saintly in the box. They're upstairs from us, and I had to cover my microphone a few times there in the third quarter when it got out of hand for them. They had lost their saintliness in the coaching staff in that box up above me. It was gone. And
I don't blame them, though.
My
God.
mad.
It got out of hand pretty quickly.
They were getting stomped like a narc at a biker rally. I mean, Jesus. They were
right.
destroyed.
Well, you had a lot to prove after the previous week. I said it doesn't matter who you guys played. I feel like you had a lot of pent up things to deal with, and whoever came in, and of course it just happened to be the Saints, and they just got smoked.
No.
Oh yeah.
And then not all the Saints got smoked that weekend, but they still all lost.
They did.
We're going to get into pro football here in a little bit, Troy. And I don't even want to start. I don't even want to start down that road. Everybody talks about the Saints being cheaters, and I'll tell you what. Come on. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start throwing that crap out. All right. So, Kasen, like I said, these young men are from Tomball, Texas, around the Houston area. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
How far away from, Houston proper are you?
It really just depends on traffic. I'd say about an hour.
Oh, so you're really in the metro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like you grew up in we're out in the country in Tomball.
Yeah.
It's all part of that monster known as Texas high school football too. That's the mecca for high school football.
Is Tomball a big town?
No, it's
Compared to Forest City, is it big?
Tomball's got about 5,000.
Oh, wow.
It's growing though.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting a lot bigger.
Everybody
Okay.
moving there. How long you guys live in Tomball?
So when we moved to Tomball, it was my junior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so since then, we've been there ever since. So what is that? It's been a little bit long, I'd say.
I was in 8th grade, so
Where'd you come from?
you went to high school there, so
So we originally grew up in Dallas. We lived in Dallas till about, what was it?
2012 or something like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I finished my 6th grade year, and then my dad started looking for head coaching jobs.
Yep.
Got one in the Houston area, which was actually more in the Houston area. So we moved to Houston when I was going into 7th grade. And then we were at that first school he was at, Galena Park High School, which is kind of in the Houston area. We were there until the end of my sophomore year. And then looked for a change, got the defense coordinator job at Tomball, moved to Tomball, and then been at Tomball ever since.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well for him. He was named head coach for this season. It's his first year as head coach. What's the record looking like?
They're 3-2 now, but
Yep.
they're 2-0 in district, so
Good.
that's good.
Yeah.
Good. And you guys have had some success here the last few years. Because you were in the state semifinals, 5A?
Yes, sir. Last year we made it to the 5th round.
Yep. Very good. So, I'm going to have to apologize. I guess Big Brother, I got a lot more information on his high school career, Keegan. And again, I didn't have a whole lot of time to do some digging because Troy sent me a text yesterday like, are we going to do a podcast? I'm like, oh, God, all right.
Yeah.
So at Tomball, or at least in high school, it showed that you had 9 carries for 84 yards. So you carried the ball very few times, but enough. 40 receptions for 659 yards. What's that about?
Yeah.
Well, were you did you just come out of the backfield, or were you a receiver, tight end?
I was lined up out at slot, a
You're
receiver.
a slot guy. Okay. We also had, again, this is your career, 111 tackles, 8 interceptions. And I found this interesting too. 41 punts for 1,565 yards. You averaged 38.2 yards per kick.
Oh, you were the punter.
I was.
Nice.
So we could bring you in as a utility.
Yeah.
If if Isaac goes down, are we going to call you in, or what's the deal?
I mean, the other day at practice, Chaffa did make me punt once just in case.
Yeah.
How'd
I
that
know.
go?
Was it any good? Or were you
I
trying
still
to
got it.
you
I
trying to
mean, I'm
sandbag
more
a
of
little?
a rugby kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Off
not
the side.
really traditional. Can't really do that well, but I mean, I'll get the job done.
Yeah. Kind of
I
grab
have
it and
to.
run and
Yeah.
then kick it.
Exactly. Or just take off.
That's good though.
So I didn't write down what year it was, but 1 year you were the District 8 5A Utility Player of the Year.
Yes.
Was that your junior year or senior?
I want to say that was senior year.
Yeah.
I think it was. Because then, was it your junior year, your first team All-State
Yes, sir.
5A?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. And then originally out of high school, you didn't come straight to Waldorf. Where'd you go?
Did not. I walked on at Sam Houston State as a receiver. And then, yeah,
Okay. And they were the Bearcats?
they were
And they spelled it wrong.
with a K.
With a K, yeah.
Bearcats with a K. I saw that. I was like, what? Now, I'm a Bearcat fan, not a Sam Houston State, but
Right.
appropriately with a C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So at Waldorf, you're doing all right. Your sophomore year, you had 12 tackles. Your junior year, 33 tackles, and so far in the 6 games we've had here at the Woo, you're already up to 25 tackles, 18 solos, 7 assists, 1 forced fumble. You returned that bad boy for a touchdown. So yeah, right now in your career, you're looking at 70 tackles, 50 solos, 20 assists. And, for somebody that's playing in the secondary, I've seen you come up and drop a hammer on people before. You like that little surprise? We're thinking, oh, there's a tiny little guy back there. I'm going to try to test him, and they pay, don't they?
I mean, yeah, that's the fun part of being on defense. You get to just hit people and not get in trouble for it. Unless, sometimes.
Yeah.
You get penalties a lot. So.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Oh, see, that's what the difference is when you have brothers on. Yeah.
Well, you can point out all the things.
Yeah, right. You do seem to get a lot of penalties.
Did you guys get to play together in high school at all? No, you didn't. So this has got to be kind of a treat to, number one, for Keegan to come in here as a freshman. I don't know. Did you dress the first couple games? I don't remember if you did. I think you dressed. But then as far as getting out on the field, it's like you've increased your playing time more and more at that linebacker spot, and we're solid throughout our defense. Kasen, you're in a group in that secondary that has got a ton of experience.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be kind of nice because you guys can read each other's thoughts almost. Where and I like to watch that communication piece when you guys are out there. That's always fun to watch. But it's got to be nice to get your brother out there and get some reps with him.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's always like there's still times I'm like, Keegan's out there. Like it's funny to me just because we've never really played together. He's always watched me growing up. I always watched him, but we've never actually got to play together. So it's been pretty cool just kind of getting to experience it and just get to play football together.
Yeah. Do you have any more eligibility?
I still have 1, possibly 2 years left.
Nice. So there's a chance that you guys could be the, where when the other teachers, coaches are talking about, Handal Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Handal
Could be like the guys in, what were the brothers,
on the Braves?
No, in the movie, the hockey movie.
Slapshot. Yeah. It was.
They were the Hanson brothers.
Hanson brothers. Yeah.
Have you guys seen that movie?
Our dad's a big fan of that.
Oh, there you go then.
Weren't they triplets though?
I think they
were triplets.
Yeah. But yeah, those guys, and it was the Braves. That was their jersey. They were
the Braves.
The Braves.
That's true. That. Yeah, I got you. All right, I see now.
I'm full of knowledge.
You are. That's for sure.
So, Keegan, Kasen, go through a little bit of how did you end up, leaving Sam Houston and getting to Waldorf?
Yeah, so I was a walk-on at Sam Houston, doing scout team and all that, all the fun stuff, and then went through off season, and then that spring break and everything. That's when COVID happened, so everything got shut down. And then I was just at home for a while, and then I was just talking to my dad and stuff. Just wasn't happy, and so I wanted to explore my options, see if I go somewhere else, see if I can contribute somewhere. And the quarterbacks coach at my high school at the time was really good friends with Coach Finley.
Mm-hmm.
They played together at Benedictine, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So he got me in contact with him, and then that's kind of just how it went from there.
So that opened the floodgates for us.
Yeah.
Here at Waldorf. Obviously your brother, we said earlier, the Mays brothers, Jacoby and Jaron, and then and Derek Taylor up here. But we have a lot of guys from the Houston area.
We do.
Yeah.
Especially this year. I feel like we've got a lot. We normally have a handful of people from Texas, but I feel like this year
they recruited pretty heavy down there.
Vontae is from there, I think, and right down, isn't he from Houston, Vontae Harper?
He's from the Houston area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and Coop's from New Caney around the Houston area, so you
don't have anybody from Egypt. See, I was looking at the map. There's a place called Egypt, Texas, just north of those guys in Tomball. I was like, what's this? Mm-hmm. Well, we'll go check that out. Get some Egyptians. That'll be fun. I'm just going to come back to something here because I'm looking at the roster, and I want you to know that to this day, the moment of, hopefully not by when this airs, but I will say that Keegan is still listed as a supplementary number 34, which is also held by a senior, and that's Seth Oaks.
Seth Oaks.
So you, as a freshman, when we had already talked to. No, Seth we had already done, I think, the first game of the season, and he was in the second week or whatever on his podcast. Yeah. So when I would be looking at it, and they give me no guidance. I will say this. Now they do, because so the fact that you play as a freshman coming up, which is awesome about NAIA ball, and you get the opportunity to play with your brother. But you were still listed on the roster as 34, and 32 also has two numbers, and it's Joseph Perez or Clayton Pletch. So I have to pick, well, I'm going to go with the senior usually, or in this case, the sophomore, and with the 32, and I would still be wrong.
Yeah. If you can look up the roster, and I took pictures in 34, so I mean, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. We'll get that squared away. Well,
good luck.
Point that out.
I think our SID needs to do some work. But I don't know if he listens to this.
I think he ought to.
Well, I think everybody should.
Yeah, he probably does, though. He seems like he is up to date on what we're talking about here. But apparently, maybe we'll get that message out here. Sorry, I just had to bring that up because it is my fault. Okay?
It's okay.
But it's based on poor information. So there we go.
Well, and I guess if I want to make you feel any better, if you remember when we had Nolan Frohwein on here,
he's changed numbers too, I think.
Yeah, he's 85 now, I think.
Yeah.
Last year he was something else. Doesn't matter, but
yeah,
it was one of those where during the podcast, early when we started this, I was looking it up and I saw senior awards, and oh God, he was the class treasurer, and he was the
all-state singer,
outstanding vocalist, and I'm like, so you're class treasurer? He's like, pretty sure I wasn't. I'm like, did you sing? He's like, nope. Well, okay, guess we're done here. Yeah. All right. Well, Keegan, I gotta apologize. I didn't find a lot of high school. As a matter of fact, I found almost.
Did you go to high school?
I did. Actually.
All right. Just want to make sure that happened.
Tomball, Texas. You were a multi-sport athlete for the Cougs. I saw a lot of information on your little profile about baseball as well.
Yeah.
So
you look like a baseball player.
Yeah. So, I mean, was that an option for you, or is that still an option for you here at Waldorf, or you just dedicated football 100%?
Coach Cleflin, he's a new assistant coach at Waldorf. He keeps asking me. I see him about every day. He asks me to play every single day. But
what position do you play baseball?
I played first.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Cold baseball doesn't sound too fun.
Are you left-handed?
What? Cool.
I'm a righty.
Okay.
It's not cold up here, is it, Kasen?
I mean, that wouldn't be my first choice then.
I mean, look outside. It's great.
Right now it's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful right now. You guys are gonna have on Saturday. That's gonna be 67 and sunny. Yeah, it's going to be a nice day for football.
It'll be crisp. It'll be a crisper day, but it'll be a nice fall day in the afternoon. Yeah, you're right, Andy. Tomorrow is going to. We're recording this on a Thursday, so tomorrow, Friday, the day that it airs, it's going to be a bit chilly.
Yeah, I did see that.
High school games are going to be a bit cold.
So yeah, and you guys get to you're traveling up to Mayville on Saturday, or actually Friday. You're traveling up. You're going to stay in Fargo. You get to practice at NDSU, which that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even to be on, you're not gonna. I don't know if you're going to go on their field or their practice facility or what exactly you're going to get.
Last year we were kind of just on a grass field. I don't know if we're doing something different this year, but I mean, still a really nice campus. Cool just to be there and see everything. So it'll be fun either way.
Yeah, and that team is a juggernaut. I mean, is North Dakota State University.
Oh, right. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Mayville for a second.
No.
It'll be 65 there on Saturday. You're right, Andy. You checked the weather. Good job.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the following week up, because you guys travel to Dickinson the week after that, and we'll talk to whoever we have on our next week's podcast about going to Dickinson. That's a haul.
It is.
What is it, 12?
I mean, on a bus probably with stops and stuff. So yeah, it's basically
Is tomorrow 7 hours?
6.
Okay.
Well, to Fargo it's 5.5, and then it's another hour to Mayville.
It's an hour north up to Mayville.
Gotcha.
Yeah, to go up, and what are they? The Comets?
I have no idea.
They are.
Yeah,
We should probably look that up.
Yeah.
The Mayville Comets.
Yeah, it is the Comets.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, didn't Mayville go down to Iowa Wesleyan last Saturday?
They did.
Yeah, and they
Lost.
Yeah, they were up 14-0, and they gave it away.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, the air raid took them. Yeah.
I thought the Yackel said that Mayville was where they had to. Is that where she said she had to
It's Mayville's fault.
Yeah.
hang Mayville?
During the coaches show last
Yeah.
night, she was,
Yeah.
I was trying to make eye contact with Darla a whole bunch pointing to her.
Right.
And she
wouldn't. See.
well, and because the last time that we were up there, they sent their baseball players or somebody like that over.
They had a group of people.
That's
that were
right.
just
That's what it was.
chirping. And then at that, like, you're really close to the field at Mayville. Like, they were right on top of us. So they were basically sitting on the bench with us, and they were just letting us have it. And then Darla and then Trevor Gunderson's mom just were not having it.
Imagine that. Now, Darla's pretty laid back about everything too. She's not high strung.
Oh no,
no, not at all.
Well, I don't know about I feel I was at the Wednesday night coaches program last night at the end, and I was just talking to
Randy.
Yeah,
the Godfather.
yeah, and she's like, shh. I'm like, I just got shushed by the godmother of the Gridiron Club.
Yeah, well, then they speak. You have to listen.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Keegan, obviously, you're getting the coach's attention. You're getting that playing time as a freshman. That's not something that happens at Waldorf very often whatsoever. Do you attribute that to more of your following your brother's footsteps or your dad's coaching?
Way to put him in a spot right there.
I'd say I'm gonna give credit to my dad here on the coaching part.
Yep.
Taught me everything.
Yeah, guys, what was that like? So, Kasen, you had the opportunity to play under your dad for a lot. Was that like easy, or was he harder on you than all the other guys, or how did that go? Or was it like, nah, it's not even my kid, it's just a player?
I mean, I definitely got the worst of it, I'd feel like, than other people, but sometimes it was deserved, I'd say.
Yeah, did you have to run home in front of the truck if you
No, I had to walk home a lot of times and stuff like that. No, but it was no, any little mistake that I had was just magnified times 100. But it was fun, It made for a lot of great memories, which is pretty cool, just to get to play with your dad for 4 years of high school football.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the parts too where it was like, can you just leave me alone for a little bit?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Keegan, did you have the same experience with your dad?
I did. So, I mean, I feel like the expectations are a lot higher from him, obviously. But, I mean, the positive of it is like, say you have questions about anything, you can always go home and ask him something. And so I feel like the knowledge of the game, like that aspect, was very beneficial.
Well, he wasn't your position coach.
Well, that too. So he spent time with them on the field.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He coached the DBs, and so I was a safety, so I was with them
all the time. Yeah.
He at least had a different.
I got a little time away from him on
okay.
the field. But.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but so, I mean, what was that like, as you're going through the season, whether in Tomball or the other school that you went to, Kasen, and played under your dad? Was that like, going home was during the football season? Was it all talking about football all the time? Or was that like, was there rules? Did Jill say, look, when you guys get home, we're going to talk about anything but football? Or is your mom all sorts of games?
No, when it's football season, that's all it is. I mean, we'd come home and he's got film pulled up and we're watching practice or we're watching film from the team we're playing that week. It's a grind during the year. And it doesn't stop at the Handal House.
No, not at all.
So is it just the two of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's great. So, and I saw that at our last home game before we traveled out to Ferris, that your mom and dad made it up for the game. They must have had a bye week.
Yeah, it was Tomball's bye week that week.
Okay. Do they have any more bye weeks? Are they going to be able to come up and grab any more?
Hopefully the playoff schedule will work out where they can come, but that was the only regular season game that they could make it to.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's number one, that's got to be great that your folks are coming up, to watch a game and see both of you out there on the field at the same time, and we hopefully have a very long road in front of us with the Handal Brothers.
Well, at least another year with Kasen and Keegan obviously playing as a freshman. It's a big deal. So was it easier then on the recruiting for you? Did you have other opportunities to go elsewhere, and then the deciding factor was that you could play with your brother?
Yeah, since I've never gotten to play with him, I mean that was the main factor that drove me here. So it's been a really good experience so far. Felt most comfortable here. So
I remember you on your visit last year when you came up, and I think your folks were up here.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah, and it was like somebody said, "That's Kasen's brother."
Okay.
I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Nice.
Yeah, we already had 2 other kids from Tomball up here, and it's like, well, we can grab another couple because you guys are a machine down there. And again, it's Texas high school football. Have you been to any high school games around here? I know that you guys sometimes the coaches make you go over and watch Forest City.
So I mean, we've been in the Forest City games, and then I've been to some of the West Hancock games with McCoy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a juggernaut too. That's up here, wing tee.
Oh yeah,
Wing tee.
fun to watch.
Oh, it is a lot of, and they execute like crazy. They've been running the same offense for 45 years.
It works
It does.
for them.
It does big time. So what have you guys liked most about just Forest City in general? Kasen, obviously you have a lot more experience up here, but what's some of the takeaways that you have?
I mean, just from when I first got here, it's like obviously that they brought me in, and just like everyone was so close, and I feel like was a part of the family as soon as I got here, and obviously like it was real cool seeing the community and how supportive they are of Waldorf and the football team, and then obviously the tailgate and just the game day experience is really something that like it's amazing. Like I didn't really expect any of that because I didn't get to visit at all with COVID and everything, so I just kind of came up here, and my first time up here, that was the first time I was on campus, saw the field, saw everything. So I mean, it's been one of the greatest decisions I've made so far, and I'm really glad I made it and that Coach Finley gave me the opportunity to come up here. And I mean, that's all I got, really. It's been a really good time.
No culture shock with the weather?
I mean, yeah, obviously that was too, but I mean, year 3 now, kind of just used to it. Kind of just got to tough it out, walk into class when it's...
You still wear shorts all year?
20. No.
Okay.
No. No.
So Keegan, has he got you ready for what's coming here in about another 3-4
Days?
months? Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know around this.
Right. Yeah.
I still don't think he's ready.
No, probably not. I only wear shorts, so I might need to get some clothes.
Yeah.
Still haven't really done that yet.
Yeah, you got a week or two.
Maybe.
And you never know around here. It might be a day like this, and then tomorrow there's a foot of snow on the ground.
I hope not, but that is for sure correct. And but that it is part of the deal, and it is kind of fun to play ball up here. And that stingers certainly mean a different thing, I think, when you're in the northern climate. That when you're a kid and you learn how to play football, and then you know it's all fun and games. You get to put the pads on, and then you go out and hit each other, and you just feel so like a big boy or whatever. And then that first time that you get around 40 degrees, and then all of a sudden everything hurts more, like the hits seem louder and they crack a little bit more. That's when you decide if you're going to continue to play football up here.
One. I love seeing some of these kids from all over the place, and and like they'll come out of practice, and it's that 40 degrees, and they're rosy red from being so damn cold.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, yeah,
because you're all sweaty and everything else, but then that exposed skin turns bright red when they get back in a nice warm environment.
Being able to play with your brother brings a unique aspect to the game. I can tell you that as a parent, it's super fun to see your kids on the field connecting in a way that is, especially you're both in the same very similar situation. My oldest boy was a safety, and number 2 would be a corner. So and then, oldest boy is like giving him advice, and I think youngest boy is like, you don't even run backwards. Don't talk to me. I can barely breathe, because I've got so much running to do. So yeah, very, very similar situation. So.
Yeah. So, are you a little bit, Kasen, are you a little bit harder on Keegan, or is it one of those you're coaching him up throughout, or?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
There's times there's other times I just kind of let him be. Like,
sure,
you mess up, you're going to learn from it. But there's times I'll step in and say some things here and there, but I just kind of let him do his thing now.
Well, that's one of the things I've noticed about that defensive backfield of ours is that you guys know kind of what everybody's doing out there. And that's kind of one of your jobs. I know that Coach Chapa has that expectation of you that you need to know that defense, not just your coverage, but you need to know what the linebackers are going to do. You need to know, where what that front's going to do, because that's going to dictate, what it looks like, coming out of the backfield or coming off the edge for you guys.
Yeah.
So does that give you a little bit of an opportunity to kind of coach Keegan up and say, hey, when you're seeing this, now we're behind you, but when you're seeing this is what you need to do?
No, yeah, it definitely helps a lot for me and obviously to help him, but just knowing what everyone's doing. I mean, obviously it's a lot on our plate, but it makes things easier once you do get it down, and then you start seeing things different. You're like, oh, we're supposed to have him there instead of someone else, and whenever we're dropping in our coverages and whatnot. So, I mean, it does make it easy, and it does allow me to help him as much as I can when he does have questions. So
Sure.
Is it easier, Keegan, for you to pick his voice out behind you, and you're like, okay,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I always feel comfortable turning around and asking him to, like, am I in the flat or am I dropping back? Because him, McCoy, and Will, tons of experience there. So, I mean, they pretty much run our defense. So,
well, you've got that. There is a lot. I mean, behind you, there's a lot of and around you, there's a lot of experience. The front, the offensive line's very senior, very experienced,
Big time.
and then defense is, in that same or similar boat. You're coming right out of high school and you're playing college ball, which is great. And what's your first impression? I mean,
a lot bigger offensive line,
right? Yeah.
So in high school, I played middle backer, and so I got moved to outside during fall camp. So I'm not used to, like, pass rushing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was kind of a shock when I had to come off the edge on a 6'3", 315 lineman, especially the Ferris State game. I will say that.
Oh yeah,
That was
Big
that was
gentleman,
interesting.
wasn't it? There were some big guys over there at Ferris.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a reason that they're number one in the nation.
yeah,
And have been for many, 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 many weeks.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, how was that experience for you? Little,
It was, I mean, we started off fast. I mean, we felt like we belonged there, but then things got out of hand kind of quickly. But I'd say we competed well throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, defense, I feel like the score didn't show it, but I thought the defense played pretty solid the entire game.
Yeah. Coach Chapa said when you were fishing, Andy, I had to do that all by myself in the round table.
He did a wonderful job.
Played okay. He played. That was like the shortest episode we ever had, 32 minutes or something. And they were like, we played a good solid quarter and a half against a very good team, and then that is true. And then I think you guys punched up and you learned a lot because you came back and like the coaches were saying, I don't know if they told you that, but you're not going to see that level of play the rest of this season.
No.
In the regular season. So and even beyond that, this Division II national champ. So that's awesome to have that experience. You guys walked away with it without anybody, being rolled away on a gurney. I know there were some little twings in the offensive line, but they recovered from that pretty quick. So you guys came out of it good, and you looked amazing then on Saturday this past week because
That talks a lot about your guys' character as a team.
Oh, yeah.
You come away with that loss at Ferris, and again, Ferris State haven't lost a regular season game in more than 5 years. They haven't lost a home game in more than 9.
Oh wow.
Even in the playoffs, they were just.
Oh, they're killing everybody.
Yeah, their national championship game wasn't even close either.
No, it was like a 40 or 50 point game in the national against Valdosta.
Wow.
Which is a great program. But the team that played them closest in the playoffs was Northwest Missouri State. It was like an 18-point game, and I tell you what, the Bulldogs just beat the snot out of Northwest.
Yeah, 3 possessions still. That's a big gap. You guys far exceeded that on Saturday this past weekend, and you think that's going to happen again in North Dakota up in Mayville?
I mean, that's always the goal, but I mean, we just got to go out and execute and do our job. And I think if we do that, I mean, we'll be able to beat anyone that lines up against us.
How do you? How are you coached, or how do you prepare for making the most of another team's mistakes? I had another great word, but I'd have to edit myself. So, if how do you do? Because this clearly with presentation, defensively, how many was it? Did we have 14, 21 points on defense? I feel like we had at least 2
So we scored special teams, and then we had a defensive touchdown. So
okay. I guess I count special teams as defense in a way. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So okay, but so still, they just made so many darn mistakes that it was, so are you coached specially to that? Like, or what's the mentality, or how do you fire up? What's the mood when they start making mistakes? And I'll come back around to what I think that might be.
I mean, once you get up on someone like that, you just can't really let off the gas. You don't want to give them any hope, and you just want to kind of step on their neck and just end it for good. Because I mean, we know we should have beat them that bad. We knew we were better than them, and we played to our ability and executed on all three phases. So I mean, I feel like that was what we were supposed to do.
But there's nothing special as far as like,
I mean, I
don't feel it when they're screwing up.
The momentum.
I mean, you can definitely feel the momentum. But I mean, coming out of the locker room just for to start the game and everything. I mean, we have that mindset. I mean, we're better than you. We're gonna, kick your ass or whatnot, as we should.
Well, that's good, because I guess what I'm thinking of, like in baseball. So did you play baseball too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you both play baseball, but it seems like errors are contagious. Have you ever noticed that in baseball?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like somebody starts making an error, and then all of a sudden the shortstop making an error, and now everybody, it's like, gosh, what are we doing? Like, we're falling apart out here. Let's just get out of this inning.
Yeah.
And football is, I think every sport has that. All of a sudden somebody starts screwing up, and then one mistake leads to another, and then it kind of gets blown out of proportion. I feel like that's definitely what happened in the presentation. Yeah, you're right. They weren't, you guys were way better, but at the same token, boy, those mistakes start happening, and then you just got to start pounding away. And do you recognize that those errors, hey, they're screwing up, and then what happens?
I mean, we did it really good. We capitalized on everything, which was great. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. But, I mean, once we start seeing that, we're like, yeah, we got them right where we want them. We just need to keep going. Okay. But, I mean,
go for the throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the nice thing about we have such an older team that we just keep playing no matter what the score is. I mean, we know we just got to keep playing until the clock hits zero, because, I mean, you never know what could happen.
That's right. I've seen, football, you've seen people come, from 21 down, and all of a sudden they're back in the game and winning or close to it, and then it gets, pretty exciting. But that didn't happen on Saturday. You guys held it together and did a great job, and it was certainly fun to watch you. And then when you came off the sideline or came off the field after your kicker, because then you were like jumping on his back.
Oh yeah, and then I realized he was kind of hurt. So
yeah. So he had that issue, and then did you get the belt then too for that, or who was that? Somebody else?
I saw somebody
at the game.
You were there. Somebody laid it across your chest.
Yeah, they gave it to me, and I was like, I could care less about this right now.
He was getting stretched out.
Oh yeah, because you got it.
Yeah, they gave it to me,
and then they gave it away after that to the next person. Yeah,
was that Erdy? Did Erdy get it next?
Erdy scored. I mean,
Tyler Hopp stripped it.
He stripped him. So I mean, I guess they both kind of got it.
They should.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what it's like at the Handal household.
Yeah.
What's going on down there in Tomball?
What do you want to know?
Like,
I don't live there. You guys do. Well, sometimes.
I mean,
so okay, you got Dad's the football coach.
Yeah.
What's Mom up to?
She's a first grade teacher.
Ooh.
So she's right across the street from Tomball High School.
All right.
Yeah. So we've been around like the school environment our whole life.
Yeah. She's kind of stuck just putting up with all three of us.
Oh, that too.
That's got to be rough for her. She probably makes her tough, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So who do you want to cross first, Mom or Dad?
Mom's definitely a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
for sure.
A lot of looking around like,
yeah,
no, they're going to listen to this,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, they love you, and it sounds like you had a good upbringing. Like they obviously are, invested in your program now. But so Mom's a football widow, but she's used to that because Dad's always, he's got the whole season.
Yeah.
And then, so she's right there for all the games as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Except now you guys aren't around. You're up here. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we're in meetings and stuff, she's always giving us updates, and then, I mean, we're always watching the live stream whenever we can. So
yeah, if you're traveling or you're supposed, on Friday night, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she goes to all the Tomball games still. Like you said, she just keeps us updated.
Yeah, she's still grinding it out as usual.
Yeah.
How many years has Dave been coaching?
Let's see.
I don't know, honestly.
It's 20 plus for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she knows what to expect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, starting about end of July when he's starting getting everything ready for the team to come back and start camp and everything else, and just like, well, hey, we'll see you in November.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. What do you guys like to do for fun? What is your hobby? What are your hobbies, or do you have any hobbies besides football?
You go first.
Yeah.
Right now we don't have much time, but I'd say we like to play pickup basketball a lot.
Okay.
So when we're back home, we'd get my dad's keys and we'd go up to the gym and invite all our friends and stuff and play. So we do that a lot. Can you think of anything else?
I mean, yeah, when we're back home, we play basketball a lot. I mean, at least when he was still in high school, he'd still be getting ready for baseball whenever I'd get back home for Christmas break. So I'd go screw around, take some cuts, take some ground balls, just for the fun of it, just kind of get away from football for a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, we'll go play basketball. I mean, occasionally go play some golf or something.
I see you're wearing a golfing hat. You've got a back nine bullies.
Yeah.
The golf club, huh?
Yeah. No, I mean, especially since it's still pretty nice once we get back over Christmas break. So if we have time, we'll go play golf.
The handles aren't too good at golf.
No, we're not great. But I mean,
but you have fun. That's,
well, yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what bad golfers say. Well, I had fun.
Encourage you to play in the golf tournament that the Gridiron sponsors. That happens in February.
Oh, yeah. Did you play in that last year?
The Tundra Tourney. Usually
I heard about it.
February?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
You play in the snow.
It was a lot of fun.
Better. Have you ever played golf in the snow before?
I have not.
Oh, well,
I didn't think you could.
Oh, well, you really can't.
Of course you can.
It's something resembling golf.
Our first meeting, Troy and I got inducted into the Gridiron Club as executive team members, and it was like, well, let's start thinking about some fundraisers. I'm like, let's do a social event. And so a buddy of mine, he's a retired deputy sheriff, and he said, well, we do this thing called like tundra golf. It's like you golf out in the snow. Like, geez. And they didn't do it for fun. They just did it for fun. Him and a bunch of buddies, they go out there and you drag a cart with a bunch of beer on it around and play golf in the snow.
Yeah,
so
just carry your sled around with you and sort of golf. And
how do you find your ball?
Yeah, well,
that can be a trick.
So every shot you need a new ball, pretty much.
Well, you use a foam ball, so it's not
it's a short
golf ball. Same size, but like a practice ball or whatever. So it usually stays on top of the snow.
Okay, yeah,
but not always. Depends if there's what's going on.
Yeah, so all of last year's coaching staff played. Do you want to venture on who might have won?
Gotta go with Choppa.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Yeah, Choppa. We're pretty sure he cheated.
Yeah.
And I hope he listens to this and bring it.
Definitely.
You know where I'm
at.
You got my phone number, Choppa.
We did not win. I didn't. I can tell you that. Although my pants did melt. So
they did. They started. Well, you and I stood by the fire.
Yeah, we just stood by the fire. Yeah.
That's why your pants.
Oh yeah. Also, I didn't play, so I can't win if I didn't play.
Well, yeah, I
just went around filming stuff.
I was tournament manager.
Yeah, that's right. And then we stood around and drank beer and.
Yeah, you had your cooler with you.
Yeah.
You didn't really need a cooler. You needed a cooler to keep your beer from freezing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good times.
I don't remember. It was like 20 degrees that day, 25 maybe.
What do you think about the Gridiron Club, the Warrior Walk? You've been doing it for a while. This is your first year, and what is that? What do you think about all that stuff?
With my first year here, I mean, I've never gotten to. I've seen. So when I came to a Waldorf game my junior year and my senior year of high school. Mm-hmm. So I got to kind of see Kasen and all the players walk, so that was cool. But getting to walk and see the whole community there for you, it's a pretty good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we started walking the field afterwards too. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
We lock arms and walk the field. Yeah, it's good experience.
I got to be honest, that for home games, that's one of my favorite things to do. Is I go out to the 50-yard line. I do my thing before as the guys are getting close, and I just watch that. Once they start going out, I always head to the south end zone or the south part of the field just to watch, because Coach Finley freaks out.
Yeah,
every time
jumps around.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And who was it that was out? Who was it that was out there? Was it Simpson?
Yeah,
Simpson.
They had a walkthrough.
Yep.
When we were doing that, and that was funny.
Yeah, we kind of clashed with them.
Yeah, and it was because I can't remember which coach grabbed me and said, "Get in. If you see anything, jump in between. We don't need anything to start early." It's
right.
Like, we're not going to do anything.
Could have.
Yeah, we took him on the field too that day.
That's right.
Yeah.
The storm. The storm.
Yeah, it was a long bus ride back to Indianola.
Sure was.
Wherever they go. Yeah.
That's right. They should be called the hot air balloons. Because
The weather balloons?
the Simpson, because Indianola does that in Iowa.
Yeah.
They have a hot air balloon festival in Indianola. Did you know that? And why would you know that?
Yeah, now I
You're not
do.
sitting in Tomball going, I wonder what's going on in Iowa. And then you're like, oh, there's a delicious hot air balloon thing up there, and it's Indianola. That's what they're.
So what's Tomball's big town
what do they do?
celebration?
Town celebration.
Mm-hmm.
We
Really?
do have like a German festival, I think.
Oh,
do
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Germans in Texas. People don't think about that.
Yeah.
So, like, tell me about that, because I'm thinking about making a trip.
Have you ever been, Kasen?
I mean, I went to like the fair part of it, but obviously like there's a bunch of food, beer, you know.
German beer, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
It's actually
happening
pretty
like
cool.
September time frame, like Oktoberfest
I
type
think it's
thing?
over the
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
I
it?
thought so.
It might be.
Mhm.
No, it was during the summer.
It was either
Oh,
over the
even
summer
better.
or yeah.
Well, maybe we could take a recruiting trip, take that.
Perhaps that's why they do their recruiting down there.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea. I think we should go with them, Troy. Maybe
Mhm.
Gridiron Club could pony up some airline tickets, and we could get down and check
Points.
out. Well, I mean, come on, we have to keep that Tomball connection going. You know,
Correct.
eventually Kaysen's going to graduate and move
Yeah.
on, and Keegan's going to be here. But if we just keep that thing rolling, if we get down there and have maybe we could have our own booth.
I think that would be great. We can stop by. Do you remember the show Matt Houston back in the 80s?
Nope.
Oh, all right. Well, there was a show called Matt Houston. He was a private investigator, and he lived in Houston, and he had a helicopter like that. He landed on a high rise. Have you seen that guy? No? Not
Never-
flying around?
never heard of
Yeah, it's just a TV show, probably not real.
So being down in Texas, really the heart of football in the United States of America, as far as I'm concerned. Who do you guys follow as far as college?
College wise, big A&M fans.
Yeah, we're big. Big.
Dave went to A&M, so
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Aggies.
yeah.
Not too happy with the season.
Appalachian
Yeah.
State, Appalachian State.
Yeah.
That had to
We don't-
sting, guys.
Guys, yeah, a little bit, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
'Cause our game just ended.
Yeah,
and
especially
then
after we just won, we're feeling good, and then we see that, and we're like, well, that just kind of killed the mood.
kind of ruined the night.
Yeah. So is the Houston area is A&M? That's kind of everybody's, or is it just
Yeah,
a little bit of
so
everything?
College Station, where Texas A&M's at, it's only an hour from Tomball, so that's a lot of people. At least my friends that graduated from Tomball, a lot of them just go to A&M. So I'd say in our area at least.
Yeah, it's
Right.
very convenient to
Yeah.
go to an A&M game.
And then pro teams.
Basketball and baseball and hockey. So the Stars, Rangers, and Mavericks.
Everything Dallas but the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We're not Cowboy fans.
Oh,
That's
So
easy
we
to
don't
do.
never really had an NFL team growing up.
We love fantasy football, though.
Yeah, so we just
Okay.
kind of rock with fantasy football.
How many people you got in your league?
I'm in like 4 different leagues. So
Oh,
it's
geez.
just- it's all over the
oh.
place.
Yeah.
We're in a
Lot to manage.
We're in a Tomball coaches league though, and there's 12 in that one. So
Yeah.
How you guys doing? How's your season looking so far?
I just beat Keegan last week, so
I'm still in first though, 3-1. But
Oh,
Not
they're
bad.
right on top of the stats on that. Yeah.
yeah.
You might expect it. What are you studying?
we're both sports management.
Yep.
Oh, sports management. All right. So
What do you want to do with that? Follow Dad's footsteps?
As of now, yeah, that's what I've been thinking about doing, getting into coaching. I mean, obviously, if something else comes up, we'll see where it takes us. But right now, I feel like I can get into coaching.
Yeah, we'll probably both do that.
So, like, keep Dad in the head coaching spot, and then after you get done with your GA and maybe coach through some different colleges, go back down to Tomball as like the offensive defensive coordinator, something like that.
Possibly, if it works out that way.
Yeah, working under him would be pretty cool.
That would be.
Yeah,
probably be a dream come true for, well, maybe,
maybe,
yeah, for him too, and for Mom for sure. I can guarantee that.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be easy enough. So, growing up, a lot of fighting, or was it you had to keep hands off because how like you guys are what? Are you 4 or 5 years apart?
It's
3 years.
it's the
Three?
Of
Yeah.
age wise,
Well, that's close enough for a
3
good
years.
fight. Yeah.
But I mean, it was always me getting yelled at because I was being too much, being too aggressive or whatever.
yeah. Jill would always claimed that Kasen would ruin my self-esteem by making fun of me, but
Yeah.
I feel like he kind of molded me into.
Right.
Just looking out for him, you know.
I grew up quicker because of him, for sure.
Well, yeah, I grew up quick, grew up hard.
Yeah, well, brothers are good for that.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
mean, they'd always say he's going to grow up and kick your ass one day. I'm like, nope,
No.
not going to happen.
The day
Still
may
has it.
come.
One
you
day.
know. You just keep, working on each other. You could be in your 80s and be like, time's coming.
He knows his place. He knows. Not to,
Oh, he knows his place.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Well, he's got some anger issues.
Yeah. Oh,
It happens.
I don't want to start anything right here.
No.
No,
Sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep you guys healthy for the
sure.
game on Saturday. That's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were, playing video games growing up. If I ever lost, it just wasn't good.
Oh, he would actually throw the controller at me every time. I would win. So
I
Ah,
didn't take it very well. Or if we'd play ping pong in the garage or something, broken paddles,
I beat him in ping pong quite frequently, actually.
holes in the wall, whatnot,
so super competitive.
Oh, yeah, always.
A super competitive family. Mom, dad also very competitive, and they
Yeah.
instill that in you guys. Is there a difference in what you might call just the ability, just the natural ability between the two of you? Do you for example, what I'll say is that like my oldest son, he was just a grinder. Like he was going to work until he got to where he wanted to be. And then the next one was like, just seemed like a lot more, it was just a lot more natural, just be like,
Yeah.
I could just do things, and it seemed easier for him, and he didn't have to he still worked hard, but he was also a little bit. Is that something similar?
I don't know. I feel like we work.
Both grind pretty
I
good?
mean, yeah, we both grind pretty hard, but I feel like I definitely was the more athletic one.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'll give
Yeah,
him
all right.
that for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. There you go.
I mean, school-wise, that's all him, but athleticism-wise, I kind of got that.
Okay. Very good. Very good. You agree with that?
I do.
All right.
Why?
wow.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, usually that starts a fight right there. Oh, really?
Yeah.
More athletic, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, we already know that there's
Yeah.
going to be a lifelong journey in figuring out, when Keegan's going to beat up Kasen. That's going to happen sometime.
And not if Jill has anything to say about
How did you get did your parents ever tell you how did you come by your names? You obviously both have names that start with K. How did you get?
I really don't know the full story.
No?
I think originally they thought maybe I was going to be a girl, so they had Casey.
Oh.
I think that is what it is. Yeah.
And then they realized it was going to be a boy, so they're like, well, we'll just do Kasen.
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah.
It's
Same-
unique. It's
Same
a
thing
unique
with you
name.
then? You were going to be Keegi, and then they're just like, oh, here's
Yeah.
Keegan.
Probably something.
Maybe
Yeah.
I
Karen.
don't know.
We always tell our youngest that he was going to be Taffy if he was a girl, and he does not like that.
Not
At
Taffy.
all. No. Well, that's interesting because Kasen is like or Kason, I guess that's an artillery term. I thought something similar to that. Have you ever looked it up? Ever put
No.
any thought in it? Okay, just
No.
didn't know. All right, so not a family name, nothing like
No,
that.
not at
Oh,
all.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So they just were rocking with the K's, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
they
that's all right.
They should have had a few more. We could have gone that lineage of the K handles coming up to Waldorf. And I guess if you would have had a sister, we could have had her on the volleyball team.
Yeah, or
Something like that.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, maybe esports.
Who knows?
Oh yeah,
We learned about esports.
Yeah, like
so
Vontae.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah, Vontae is a little bit passionate about the esports.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so you guys didn't. You said you talked. You played a little bit of video games. Is that something you do? Here at Waldorf too. You sit around just to kind of decompress, play video games.
Me, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
definitely big on the gaming.
Yeah, Kasen's a
Not so
huge
much.
gamer.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. I was the one that just was big on gaming, got really into it, and he's just never really been into it. I mean, he'll play with me and stuff, like if we're playing like a basketball game or something like that. Like he'll play, but he just not as much as I do at all.
You studying?
Yeah.
It's
Any other activities at the school that you're engaged with? Any other groups or anything like that?
Not
No?
really. No.
Okay.
just football.
Okay. Well, that can be enough.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
kind of.
full-time
Yeah,
gig.
it keeps us pretty busy.
Yeah. So what's going to happen like after the playoffs and everything else, and hopefully a nice deep run into that postseason, and then and what happens next semester? Just
Off season.
Off season, yep.
all right.
Fine for next season.
Heal up, lift,
play some intramural basketball.
Oh yeah,
Getting ready for that, huh?
Oh yeah.
me, Kasen, and Zach Throne are gonna.
Oh, really?
You'll hear about it for sure.
Oh, sounds good.
Zach Throne was a hell of a basketball player back in the day,
Yeah.
and maybe he still is.
We're a three-point only kind of
He
team.
can still shoot it. That's for sure.
Yeah, the kid can do it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So when you guys, you'll probably get home. Well, maybe not Thanksgiving. Christmas break is probably the next time you guys are going to get back to Tomball.
I don't want to go home on Thanksgiving.
Right.
I'd rather be playing.
Yeah, I hope so too.
For sure.
So what are you looking forward to as far as what's the meal that you guys get that you really look forward to?
Oh, at least for me, whenever Jill makes like her homemade lasagna, that's one of my favorite things. Or just having a steak.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with steak.
I miss all the home cooked meals because
really anything.
The food at the calf is
Not great.
It's old quick.
not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I live in a house, so I at least can make some food, but I make like the same 4 things every week.
Right.
So.
If he has any leftovers, then I'm quick to go over there to eat.
Yeah.
What's your go-to recipe? What are you making most of the time? Chicken and rice, or what are you doing over there?
I mean,
It's
the,
all
the
ramen.
easiest thing that we've done is just like
Ramen.
make some taco meat and then
Okay.
either, like make some nachos or just make a little burrito with it or something.
There you go.
But yeah.
My son-in-law, when he was in college, of course, he didn't have any money, and
As
he
it
found
should
out
be. Mhm.
economically,
Yeah.
you just for like $3, you can go get 5 pounds of potatoes. Now, how many meals is that?
Boy, I don't know.
Yeah,
You on the baked potato diet.
yeah, he was on the baked potato diet.
Baked potatoes and beer.
That's
It's not
good.
bad.
Baked potatoes and beer. I lived in Tanner when I went to Waldorf, and we did not have
Johnson London,
money
yeah.
either.
Nope.
But when we ran out of food, there was always like, I think one night, late night, can't say what we were doing prior to that, but I think we just ate peanut butter and salsa, which is a weird combination.
Wow.
Yeah,
You combined it?
you'll pay for that. But you know what? We were hungry, and when you're starving, you're starving.
We used to
Yeah.
when I was at Waldorf. It was a 2-year school, like it was with you, Troy.
Yeah.
But we always used to go over because North Tanner was all female, and so we just about 9:30, 10
Yeah.
o'clock, you go stumbling over to North Tanner and
Yeah.
knocking on doors. Hey, you guys got anything to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And they'd always, a lot of these young ladies would just take really good care of you and make you a really nice thing of ramen.
Yeah, they figured it out too. Like, first floor. Same thing when I was there. They don't do it now. Now everything's intermingled now, which is mind blowing to me because whatever. But back then it was all keep it separated, And then like the first floor of North Tanner was because they were north. I was South Tanner, so then
Yep.
but they were
South Tanner.
If you wanted to go around on the window and knock on the first floor, like they always kept like their. More like the defensive line girls down there on the first floor. So you had to like throw a rock or something to get up to the second or third floor.
Yeah, because back in the day, Ormseth was all female. Johnson London was all male.
I'm gonna get some hate mail for that. I think.
Yeah, Tanner was female on South First was I think South First was guys. South First and South Second was guys, and then it was female the rest of the way, and then I don't know, Rasmussen was something. We didn't have Breen back in the day.
Yeah, there was no Breen.
When they built that at all?
Breen? Oh, that was back.
late 90s, like 90, 98, 99, like just before the turn of the century, actually, because which seems like a long time ago when you put it that way. Yeah, it was.
True. I
remember when it was being built, though, and you could just walk right through it. They didn't lock it up or anything, so I walked right through it. I was as a community member at that time. Just walk through with some friends, say, "Well, this looks nice," whatever.
Looks like a Super 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you live in a house, Kasen. Who do you live with?
It's me, McCoy, and then Austin Erdman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Touchdown
Not a
Club.
bad deal. Yeah.
You guys had a lot to talk about. Did you rub it into McCoy a little bit? Like, hey, McCoy, did you get a touchdown on Saturday?
He was the only one in that house that did not.
No, I did.
That's right. Yeah, boy.
We were sitting on the bench. I said a couple things to him, but after that, I just let him be. So it was all right. I didn't want to make him feel too bad about it.
That was one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things on Saturday was as soon as I saw Erdy scoop that and start moving toward the goal line, I knew it was going to happen. We're either going to score or not. So it's not up to me. I just looked back and looked at his folks just to watch that. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Getting to know who those people are and being able to see that. Spilled his dad's beer before the game. So
did you?
Pretty proud of
I
myself.
remember you talking about that. You
Yeah.
just knocked everything over.
Well, yeah. Darla said, "Hey, help yourself to an egg sandwich," and I opened up the Cambro container, and there was not a hinge.
Oh no.
And so Chad's beer went flying. And after the game, I told him, "I'm not going to Mayville, but we're gonna have to find somebody to spill your beer, and maybe Austin."
Yeah.
Another touchdown.
That's a lucky situation there.
Yeah, that might
It's
work.
like, don't change your socks or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good deal. You guys have any weirdo, superstitions about anything with the games or anything like that?
I mean, I always try to wear like the same stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, like I've been doing that like for baseball and football. I always try to wear the same stuff.
Right. Do you think that started from football, or is that
I don't know.
baseball players
It's
are
just
superstitious?
kind of been something that I've always kind of done. Like, I mean, obviously, if I didn't play well, I'd switch something up.
Yeah.
Especially with baseball. You know how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
In a slump, and you just switch it up. Took off the batting gloves or something. So, yeah, I kind of think I have been pretty superstitious my whole life.
Same thing.
Same thing with me. I feel
Yeah.
like most people that play sports have superstitions that they like pregame. Just you have to do everything the same so you can feel comfortable.
Yeah. There's a nominal approach to that is probably normal. And then is there anybody on the team that is just a little crazy about superstitious stuff? Anybody that you've been around for a while, so you know.
Not too bad that I've noticed. I mean, obviously, like, people just, like, they'll have their headphones on, listen to whatever they're listening to, kind of going crazy and whatnot. But, I mean, nothing like, I'm just like, what the hell?
Right.
Nothing to that extreme. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
At least not yet. So
That's good.
I'll
That's
let you
good. But you guys have a great record. I mean, you're 5-1 now, so I mean, you just keep on rolling. And obviously, the coaches say 1-0 each week, and you know, always undefeated at home and all that other stuff. You're on the road, and that hasn't changed a bit. You got a lot to do, but I won't be there.
I will not be there.
Yeah.
I'm heading to Lathrop, Missouri tomorrow. I'll be about halfway there about this time.
Nice.
But what I have to do is I have to stop at Quick Star before I leave and pick up a frozen pizza called the Kitchen Sink, because now you talk about weird superstitions. Is before that, I'm in the locker room during home games. So our first 4 games, we're at home, and I text my wife like, "What's for supper?" She said, "Whatever you want." Like, so I'd stop in. Like that first week, I grabbed Kitchen Sink pizza and made that. Sat down, had a nice glass of whiskey, and ate a few pieces of Kitchen Sink pizza. Well, then the next Friday, same thing. Friday after that, same thing.
See where you're going with
4
this.
weeks in a row. And so then that first that Friday before Ferris State, you guys had left super early Friday. I went on Friday and went on a fishing trip for a week, and I did not get a Kitchen Sink pizza.
And look what you did.
Yeah, and so last Friday, Kitchen Sink pizza. So I don't have a choice. I have to go have a Kitchen Sink pizza.
His rally hat is a Kitchen Sink pizza.
what's on the kitchen?
Yeah, what is that?
I have no idea. It's like a bunch of big pieces of sausage and pepperoni and peppers and onions and mushrooms
Just a
and
little bit of everything.
Cool name for an everything pizza.
yeah, it's fantastic, and I absolutely I
That's
enjoy
from
it.
Quick Star?
Yeah, it's in the frozen food section at the Quick Star.
Oh, you really did make it then.
Yeah, I made it myself.
There's a whole process.
So anyway, it's one of those that I take full responsibility for the loss at Ferris.
Now we know.
Yep. So
We know.
Don't.
God,
Make
wouldn't
sure to
that be
get that
amazing?
every
You
week.
just like
I'm
doubled
gonna.
up on Kitchen Sink pizzas
I'm
that
gonna.
day, and then all of a sudden they're just like, I don't know what happened, but
yeah. Exactly. I just hope everybody from the teams at my
They're like
funeral in December, like, oh, I can't believe you had a heart attack.
the worst homecoming ever for Ferris State. And they're like, I don't know how to explain this, and then you're just like grease on your chin, and you're like, I can tell you, is eating.
So that's my weird thing.
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, want to thank the Handal Brothers. And I'll tell you what, it's great to have you guys here, and not just out here at the Secret Underground Bunker deep beneath Bullstar Field, but more than anything, to have you both in 4 Cities, seeing you play together. Kasen, we know what to expect from you, and Keegan, you're proving yourself as a remarkable football player for our football program. And Dave and Jill, we're going to take care of them while they're up here, but you have a lot to be proud of, as you very well know. And good luck to the Tomball Cougars as they navigate through Texas High School 5A, or is it 6A this year?
6A.
6A football. And we wish nothing but the best, and hope you guys take a deep run into the playoffs and win themselves a state championship down there in Texas. But I want to thank Kasen and Keegan Handal, number 4 and number Troy.
32.
32. He's got it. He'll never forget that. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us. For Troy Thompson, this is Andy Buffington. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on the Waldorf Gridiron Podcast. And as ever and always, go Warriors.
You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club today by sending a check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
Or message us by visiting and like our Facebook page, Waldorf Gridiron Club, or email us at waldorfgridironclub@gmail.com.
Or it's as easy as clicking on the Support the Show link on your phone. Become a patron of the Gridiron Club by choosing to support the program monthly. $100 is the black membership at $9 a month.
The $250 level is purple at $25 a month.
$500 is the Warrior membership at $45 a month.
The all-conference level is $750 or $65 a month.
$1,000 is the All-American membership at $85 a month.
The champion level is $125 a month, and that's $1,500 a year.
$2,500 is the Hall of Fame membership.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farmstead Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. The music is by Christian Leo. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a non-profit 501c3 organization dedicated to football student-athletes of Waldorf University. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.